Hello, my name is John Montgomery, and this is my second pass for my pitch, a game called Holy Judgment. Holy Judgment is a 2D platformer game where a holy knight must use his holy sword and his spells to rid the world of all the evil. The goal of this game is to eliminate all monsters and demons in the level in order to exit the level and move on. There are 3 levels in the game Holy Judgment. There are 2 normal levels and 1 boss level. In order to get through the first 2 levels, the player must defeat all demons and monsters within the level. Only when all enemies are defeated will the exit to the level open up. In order to finish the game, the players must defeat the boss in the last level. The goal of each level is to obtain the spellbook. With the spellbook, you will be able to get rid of all the enemies in the level because you will have both your sword and your spells. Once you have the spell book, you will be able to switch between using your sword and using the spells you have acquired throughout obtaining the spell book within the level. This allows the player to use these items in order to defeat enemies within the level. Plus, when the spell book is equipped, the player can also switch between the spells. When the spell book is attained in the current level the player will gain access to 3 different spells they can use in order to slay their enemies. The first spell the player can use is the barrier spell. The barrier spell will protect the player for a short amount of time against incoming magic damage from the enemies. The barrier spell does not protect the player from incoming melee damage. The Holy Missile spell is a spell that conjures a missile and is shot at the enemy. When the missile hits an enemy, it will damage the enemy that was hit if the enemy is not immune to spells. The Holy Force spell is used when enemies get too close to the player. The Holy Force spell creates an area of effect explosion around the player and damages any enemies around the player that is not immune to player spells. This is used effectively when too many enemies are around the player. There are 2 types of enemies, monsters and demons. Monsters are slain by the player defeating it with a sword. Also, the monsters in each level are immune to the player's magic. The demons are weak to the holy magic but are also immune to the player's sword. I see 2 different risks for this project to be done in a reasonable scope of time. The first is the AI behaviors. This will be difficult to implement due to the fact they need to patrol a certain path so enemies don't kill themselves falling off ledges. The boss behavior is also dynamic due to the fact communities will switch between the 2 after a certain amount of time. The second problem is much more simple to fix. Since the game will be done in the Unity engine, the Asset Store has a 2D platformer package that will give this project a serious head start in its development. The Asset Store will be key to developing the project in a certain time scope. Welcome to Holy Judgment, and thanks for watching.